Now let's jump into learning about variables, primitive data types, and operators. We discussed in C program as well, but we will just quickly go through again. It should be similar. And we have the prompt here, and I have the prompt. User instruction, we are trying to learn fundamentals. And first is variables and constant. Then primitive data type, and then we have operators and expressions, and what we need, code expectation, include inline comments and all this that we want. And our goal is to help the beginners to build confidence in understanding how variables, types, and expressions work together in C++ through clear examples, educational output, and simple logic. So once we enter, it will try to generate the code. So we do that. Let's do enter. So it will create a new file, ideally, or CPP fundamentals. And we have the code is being generated. You see the main is on the top, and there's only one function, main. So it's just explanation of the data types, primitive data types, variable, constant, operators, and expressions. So it's generating the code, and we will okay, that's quite a amount of lines. Conditions. Okay, it's done. So what it did is key features here are covered are structured learning format, organized clear section of each fundamental concepts, and thorough explanation of every concept in detail, step by step, demonstration of operations, and then comprehensive coverage and all primitive data types with size and range information, constants and variables, all operators that we asked for, and best practices followed, proper C++ syntax, formatting, modern C++ features like const expression, and then other std bool alpha that is being used. So we'll see the code. So we will take this and take this to a file, and we push this, apply in editor. We say new file, and file name we give CPP fundamentals or just say fundamentals. Rather than that, I will say data types. And data types dot CPP. Okay, and we save that file, and there it is. Now let's hide the chat window, and we go through the code and try to understand what is there. Oh, this is the test one. Here is the data types or CPP, and it did create the header section with today's date. That's normally written in large organizations, and some description of the file of what it is doing, and the main, and we have a lot of std error out, std out, stdc out, And we have, okay, so cout fundamentals, variables and constants. So here are the variables, int and int, double, and boolean, and character. So all of these values are printed. We'll see the results. And the constants, we're using const is a keyword, and const int, const double, const expression you can have like this. And it is a compile time constant with const expression. And then we are printing those values, constant values. And we have primitive data types. And primitive data types are short, int, long, and long, long. Okay, and so that is here, and it is printing the short, what is data type, and the value, and the size, what was the range, numerical limit. We'll see the result, numeric limit. And we go down, floating point, float double, and long double. We'll see, and their sizes. Each one will see the output, characters, and their sizes, the value and the size, boolean, value and size, and then operators, section 3. Operators are, here is what? Equal operator, plus operator, minus, multiply, that is star, and then divide, and mod, the remainder, modulus, and increment, decrement, and pre-increment, post-increment, relational operators like this, equal, not equal, less than, greater than, less than equal, greater than equal. And then logical operators are like this, and, like and, or, and then not. So all these are printed. We will see the output after, and there are some operations are done and the results after that. Bitwise operators, this is very important concept. For example, the number 5, a bitwise value will be 0, 1, 0 for our last 4 bits, and 3 will be 0, 0, 1, 1 if with the bitwise operation we do with a single ampersand, single bar, and caret, and tilde, like that, and shift, right shift, left shift. So the values are changed with the bitwise operation. This is a very important concept to understand about the fundamentals of the C and C++ programs. Let's execute this, and we have data types and C++ data types and output data types. It compiled, and we run data types. So there is output. Let's go to the code and then see what it did. So the top of the output is variables, and we have variables. Age, the value is 25, all the values are, and character, grade, that is A, all these values are displayed here simply. And then constants, values are displayed here. and all this pi value, you see pi value like that. Where is that? Pi here. And to note that pi is a pi, and it printed and truncated is not all the digits after dot after the period are printed. So there's a number of limits, so we can look at that later. And we have this primitive data type, short, int. You see the sizes. Short is 2 bytes, size for int is 4 bytes, long 8 bytes, and long also 8 bytes, but the value is much larger. Okay, and floating point data is float, double, and long double. Float is 4 bytes, and double is 8 bytes, and long double is 8 bytes as well. Only the precision will be different. Character. Next, character is 1 byte as usual, and it has ASCII values. Z is 90, A is 65, like that. Boolean, again, 1 byte. Boolean, 1 byte. And operators, arithmetic operators, it needs starting with, there is values, addition, 26, subtraction, once you do that value, multiplication, and division, it truncated some values. Decimal values are truncated because it's integer, you're putting an integer. And floating division will be this. So it's not truncated. Last 2 digits are taken after decimal. And mode is this. So those are the arithmetic operation. Increment, pre-increment like this, it is the value will be increased by 1. Pre-increment, counter right now value is, okay, let's see what it did. Increment and decrement. Pre-increment, counter. So here it is printing the value of the counter, and the pre-increment, because the assignment was before increment, so that's why the value is still 11. So that's a very important concept to understand. This value, the increment happened after it assigned this to pre-increment. Now next, post-increment. And post-increment, it is no, I was talking it otherwise. Pre-increment is first it will increment, then assign. Post-increment is first it will assign, then it will increment. And that's how the value is in the post-increment. Assignment happened, this one before, and the next time the value is printing is counter incremented to 12. And here decrement, same thing. Pre-decrement assigned first and then decremented. So value after decrement, counter become 10, but the assignment happened post decrement. This one, post decrement. So decrement happened afterwards, after assigning the value. And relational operators. Relational operators are like equal, not equal. If they're if these two values, x is 10, y is 20, and this is false, x equal y is not. It's not equal, so false. Next one is it's not equal, is true. That less than x is less than y is true, and so on. X less than equal to, yes, true, and greater than equal to x, no, that's false. Logical operators are AND operators, conditional if this is true and false, and true and true. One is true, another false. So true and false is false, and then true or false is true, and then not, meaning true. If you assign not to true is becoming false, and not to false becomes true. And then assignment and compound operators. We have so here are those statements. Assignment and compound operators next. So we have the value is 10, and then we have the 10 plus 5 is 15, like that, minus. So, and then is that value, the operation is on that value, so that's why it's just like this. And the value more 3, in this case is 0, and so on. Bitwise operator, that is another important concept to understand in this C, C++ programs. Bitwise, we have 5 and 3. 5 is binary values are 0, 1, 0, 1. 3 is 0, 0, 1, 1. So the AND operator will be each bits, if they are matching 1 and 1, it will be 1. So bit 1 and bit 2, and the value is only the last one matches. So that's why it's 1. And OR will be all that do not, all that alternate, when the values are alternate, it is OR operator, bitwise, when they are here is example 1, in the second one from 1 or 0 is 1. So that's how it becomes 1. And then here 0 or 1 is 1, and 1 or 1 is 1. So that's why 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, that is 7. And exclusive OR is bits set in 1 but not on the both. So that's when that time it will be. So if you do this and this, it will be 6. How? So 0 or 0 is 0, 1 or 0 is 1, and 0 or 1 is 1, and 1 XOR 1 is 0. So that's why the value is 6. And this is negation, not. So invert all ones, and that's the numeric value we get for this unsigned int. 16 bits, so that's why it is. And then left shift and right shift. And left shift is like multiplying by 2, and right shift is divided by 2, like right shift, left shift. So if digits goes left, is multiplied by 2, that value you'll get. And that's what it is. That's the end of this lesson. We have variable constants, primitive data types, and operators and expressions. We learned about the foundation of our C++ course. Based on this, we'll build subsequent lessons. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next lesson.